Good morning. So 7 months ago at the IAB annual meeting, I gave a speech about several issues affecting our industry, but the one that got nearly all the attention was traffic fraud, and for good reason. The pervasiveness of non-human traffic had reached alarming levels, yet there was still a great deal of denial and misapprehension about the issue across the industry. I felt it was important to bring the topic to the main stage so that we could begin to solve the problem in earnest. Over the past 7 months, progress has been really encouraging. First, we have widespread recognition that fraud affects everyone. It cheats advertisers of their money. It puts CPM pressure on legitimate publishers by forcing them to compete with fraudulent inventory. It introduces risk to agency trading desks and other RTB-driven business models. And it undermines the very trust and confidence we've worked hard to instill in our medium. And because it affects everyone, no one company can be expected to solve the problem alone. 2 weeks ago, the IAB released its anti-fraud principles, which form the foundation for a broad industry effort to identify fraudulent traffic and ensure that it's filtered out of legitimate, high-quality sources of inventory. A new anti-malware working group was also just launched. This group will strengthen our collective defense against malicious software attacks. A safer consumer is a happier consumer, and a protected computer can never generate non-human traffic. We'll also partner with federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and U.S. Department of Justice, to increase prosecutions of those who perpetrate crimes against our industry. So while we work to eradicate non-human traffic from our ecosystem, another very important facet of building trust and confidence in our supply chain is viewability. We all know what it is, but we sometimes fail to recognize how groundbreaking it truly is. For the first time in the history of media, we endeavor to promise advertisers that every single impression they pay for has the opportunity to be seen. The closest anyone has come to this level of guarantee is television, with its commercial ratings apparatus. But even with TV, you don't have measurement of audience for individual commercials. TV uses average commercial minute ratings to transact, not individual commercial minutes. Our move to viewability will measure the actual number of users who have the opportunity to see each individual ad. So let's take a moment to recognize that what we're attempting to do here is unprecedented. I take exception with those in the marketplace and press who suggest that we're somehow late in addressing this. Not only are we not late, we're ahead of everybody else in establishing an unparalleled standard to provide advertisers with the least amount of waste of any medium. Now, the process of changing the currency of a $40 billion industry is not a light task. We're going from charging for a served impression to a viewable one. But we all remember how difficult it was to get consistent and reliable counts for served impressions for so many years. The discrepancies between different ad servers were huge, and it was impossible to determine which of the numbers, if any, were correct. Frankly, it's only been in the last couple of years that ad server discrepancies have moved into a tolerable range. That took 18 years. Therefore, it's fair to say that as we look to change the billing basis from served to viewable, that we have to anticipate a great deal of trial and error. In fact, let me be absolutely clear. We are not ready today to transact on a viewable impression basis. And that shouldn't be a disappointment to anyone who has an appreciation for the complexity of this undertaking. What we ought to be doing is addressing the structural challenges so that we can safely flip the switch. First, there are way too many viewability vendors. Currently, there are 15 companies who have been accredited by the MRC for viewability measurement, and there are many more in the queue. Why is this a problem? Well, the idea that publishers need to become compatible with 15 different systems is untenable. Never were there this many ad servers when we were dealing in the world of served impressions. In fact, what does it say about our industry that we actually need 15 companies to deliver a binary result? Was the ad viewable or not? The answer is yes or no, but we have 15 different companies trying to render that verdict. And to expect publishers to be compatible with 15 methodologies would take an unspeakable level of effort and manpower. Also, because buyers and sellers can currently each choose their own viewability vendors, there are now 210 permutations of buy and sell side vendor configurations. Considering that buyers and sellers who use the same ad server today still see discrepancies after 18 years, can you imagine the discrepancies that emerge from 210 variations of viewability vendors?